Okay, hi, we're recording. Hi, I'm Perez, and that's Jewel. What's your name?
Jewel Kilcher. Many people don't know Kilcher.
Where are you?
I am in Nashville, Tennessee. I was on a show. I just got off stage.
What show? You're touring? Your tour?
No, it's just the CMA Fest. Have you heard of it?
Oh, is this like the fan appreciation thing?
Yeah. Free concert.
Oh, did you spend like a lot of time like signing autographs for people, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it was really cool. Actually, I did radio all morning, and then I did fan signing, and then this show was in was it a football stadium, guys? Huge, like 75,000 people or something.
Wow. Who else performed?
Let's see. Taylor Swift introduced me, which was really sweet, and then I think she performed. Sugarland, I think, was on the bill tonight. Cool act.
Cool. And you're starting your tour this week or in a couple of days with Brad Paisley?
Yeah, it's been a busy month. The album came out on the 3rd, and then Nashville Star, I'm a Judge. That's on NBC. That started, we did our first taping for that, and then Paisley starts on the tour starts on the 11th. That's
soon. Have you checked iTunes recently?
No.
Your album's number 7.
It is? That's good.
Yes.
Good, I guess.
That's very good.
I'm just nervous. I never check any of that stuff.
Well, as of right now, I'm looking at it right now. My iTunes says you're number 7, just beneath a band I've never heard of before.
Hey, good to know after 13 years.
Oh, that means, no, it just means we're old. That's what it means.
Hey, I knew that already.
It's a band called Disturbed. They actually have the number 1 album and the number 6 album, which I don't know how that's possible.
An EP? A single?
Well, 2 different versions of the same album. I think maybe it's like a soundtrack to like a video game or something.
Those are pretty big, I hear.
You're above Ashanti, who's number 8. I know Ashanti.
You do?
Well, not personally, but I know that you're above her. But I heard her name. So
I'm a top, not a bottom. That's cool.
I love this because I feel like we're coming full circle. It was like 2 years ago that we spoke on my website and we did like a little podcast thingy. And now we're like taking it up a notch and doing video. So I love technology and I love the little like symmetry or whatever you want to call it.
I know. I told you a bunch of dirty jokes and then hung up and I had a panic attack that you would publish them all. And I called you back and I was like, please don't tell all those terrible jokes I know.
You did it. And then you called me again and now we kind of like know each other and are friends, which is lovely.
It is really lovely. I've enjoyed it. People would be shocked to know what you're like in person versus what you're like online.
Don't tell them.
He's a horrible queen. That's all I have to say. Is that good?
I'm a bitch. No, I'm not. But I had something horrible happen today.
What happened?
Well, I do these radio calls every day, 4 stations. Oh, I don't even know if I should be talking about this. You know what? Fuck it. I'm all about being honest.
Yes.
I had this radio call this morning with a New York station. One of the stations that does my radio feature is this hip-hop station. Yeah. And I was reporting a story about this celebrity who told me she was the victim of domestic abuse. And I was saying how bad it was. And then one of the radio guys started making fun of it. And it was like, yeah, if I was dating her, I would punch her too. And I was shocked.
No way.
I was like, you know what? No, fuck you. You don't ever hit a woman, and it got pretty ugly. But
no kidding.
But I'm happy now. Chatting with you.
I've had radio people. I remember I was in like South Carolina, I want to say, and this guy was chatting to me, and we went live on air. And when I got on air, he goes, "You might have heard me describe my next guest as a large-breasted woman from Alaska. Jewel, how are you?" And I went, "You must be that small penis man I've heard so much about from South Carolina." They kicked me off the radio. Like, they escorted me out of the station for saying that. I mean, like, it's unbelievable.
It's a double standard. If he could say you have big boobs, you should be able to say he has a small dick. But we can say dick on here.
That's what I thought.
So, you know, I have to ask, I'm sure this is the number one question you're getting asked these days. So why did you decide to do a country album as the new record?
I've been writing country songs my whole life. You know, I was raised in Alaska on a ranch. A lot of people, it's funny, I quit talking about the way I was raised, actually. When my first record came out, I got famous for being, you know, homeless, living in a car in San Diego. And then they found that I was raised on a ranch in Alaska, and they started making fun of me because, you know, I had an outhouse, and we had a coal stove for heat. And I hated people making fun of that. I liked how I was raised, and I was really proud of it. And so I quit talking about it, and everybody was really happy to go with the homeless story and all that. And it was fine. I was tickled to, like, sell records, and it was all fine. But some of the songs on this album I wrote when I was 16. Some of them I wrote when I was 18.
Really? Which one?
Rosie and the Mix. The title track, Perfectly Clear, I wrote that when I was 18.
Wow.
I was obsessed with short story literature. I loved, like, Nabokov and just a lot of great short story writers. And so I wrote a lot of these songs based on fiction. Like, Perfectly Clear takes place in, like, in a fictional world where a guy is leaving after, like, a 10-year relationship. His bags are packed, the door's open, and he's trying to say something trivial to say goodbye. And she says, you know what? You know, don't say anything. It's perfectly clear. It's just a fiction story. Same with Rosie and Mick. I wrote that at least 9 years ago.
It's so crazy. Like, you have
song I wrote,
these songs that you wrote such a long time ago.
There's one song, the Cowboy Waltz. I wrote that when I was 16, believe it or not. I wrote it for my dad. My dad's a cowboy, and he writes cowboy music. He yodels. He taught me to yodel.
And you yodel on this album.
I do. I yodel on this song. I wrote it when I was 16, and I could never get it out till now. I love country radio. There's exciting things happening right now. Whereas pop's become a little bit more urban, country radio is opening up. And it's not just, you know, She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy. It's also Miranda Lambert, who has a really cool song out. And I sent you a cool song the other day. I can't remember the name of it. But there's been some cool music right now. It's really for singer-songwriters and for lyric-driven music. I'm really excited.
Yeah. And you kind of are really still a cowgirl. Like, you still live on a ranch in Texas.
Yeah.
And you're pretty butch.
I went from a ranch in Alaska to a ranch in Texas where, you know, one day we'll be, like, doctoring calves. Ty will, like, be bucking a bull one day, and the next day we're at the Oscars. It's just crazy.
I was shocked when you told me, like, you would expect, like, okay, Jewel lives in a ranch. Sure, but she has, like, all these people running her ranch for her. No, you actually do this stuff.
Yeah, we do all the chores. We have 2,500 acres. We run 250 mother cows. We have about 16 horses, and we build fins. We pick rocks out of the field. We doctor all the calves.
Explain that process. Well, for people that don't know, what is doctoring a calf?
It could be anything. I mean,
like,
one day
you brand them. You give birth to them.
Well, I rope them. Like, I'll take a lasso and I'll be on a horse and I'll heel their back feet. And I'll drag them to the fire pit, and then we vaccinate them, castrate them, dehorn them, and brand them. But it's for their own good, I promise.
You treat your animals well.
We do. Ty is the most, like, he loves animals more than he loves people. Everybody knows that about him.
Well, so now that you're going to be on the road for so long, is he going to come visit?
I think so. You know, if I stay gone long enough, he has to, like, visit, right?
Are you getting married anytime soon?
I'm going to give you the exclusive if it happens.
I read something recently. I think it was like some website. You were talking about kids. You're like, well, if we have kids, we're going to get married.
Yeah, we feel that way. It's funny, you know, like I look at Hollywood and everybody seems to get married like it's a fashion thing. Like they'll put a ring on their finger like it's an accessory and they really want to try it out. And then if they don't like it, they'll just get annulled. And I take it serious. So does Ty. My new single is called I Do. And it's about that. It's about how serious it is. There's a lyric that says, love's a game until it's played.
Love is
and that's true.